What is going on, guys? As you can see, this is a separate video. Normally we do the player scores in a different video. It all goes in one match review, but we are actually going to start doing them in separate videos to cut time on the match review, so it's not as lengthy, and also to get your opinion on the player scores and everything in a more sort of natural way, I guess. But yeah, this is the first of the player scores. This is for the Liverpool game, the last game of the season, and this is the way that we're going to format the videos going forward. So yeah, stick around for the player scores. We're out for blood. So, the game against Liverpool, we lost, unfortunately, 2-0. Let's talk about those player scores. First of all, I am going to leave Sarr for last. I normally start with the goalkeeper, I think, pretty much every video. But I'm going to leave Sarr for last because he was unbelievable. Simple as that. Simple as that. Let's talk about our front line. Hwang. Not a great game for Hwang, if I'm honest. I think Cunha showed a lot more than Hwang today. Don't think the service was really there for Hwang, but at the same time, his strength wasn't great. Off the ball running wasn't brilliant. And I just didn't see enough from Hwang, really. So, yeah, probably warrants about a 6 for me. Cunha, I think at times in the first half, and some spells in the second, I think Cunha actually played really well at times. Was our outlet to get out at Liverpool and stuff. Neat bit of footwork here and there. Probably didn't do enough to get a 7. I'd probably put him as a 6.5. But yeah, there was some parts of the game today with Cunha which I it's kind of like watching Cunha of old, where like on the break, he makes the right decisions and what have you, and did miss an opportunity at one point to put us 2-1, but I think the game was pretty much dead anyway at that point. I don't really think it would have mattered too much, but yeah, not great, but not as bad as Hwang. I think João Gomez was our best midfielder today. I think at times his footwork was incredible, ball winning was really good, and his work ethic in general was fantastic today. And yeah, I think a 6.8 is probably about right, really, for him. And the same goes with Lamina. I think a 6.7 is probably about accurate for him. I think he did about as good as João Gomez, but maybe not to the quality of João Gomez, if that makes sense. Like, he did the same things as João Gomez. I just don't think some of it came off as well as João Gomez. But I do like Lamina for covering the defence sometimes, especially in that first half before that red. I thought what he did really well was win the ball fairly high up in the pitch and create some opportunities. That obviously didn't really lead to anything, but the work ethic was there from them. And I think as a midfield duo, I think they did really well. I thought actually Bellegarde, who we're going to talk about now, who actually started the game in a midfield 3 before he was shifted wide to play as a 4-4, 4-4-2, because Semedo obviously got sent off, a 4-4-1 even. I actually thought Bellegarde played really well in that central midfield role position. Picked up some good spots and whatever. Obviously, he didn't do it enough, but I don't think, arguably, he didn't really get enough time to do it because he was obviously changed after the red card. It would have been really interesting to see, had the game carried on in the manner that it did before the red, where Bellegarde would have kind of stood on the match ratings, because he looked a lot more comfortable in that central role, and interesting that we start him there as well. Maybe that's something that Gary O'Neill's thinking about for next season. And you know what? We saw him in the central role against Liverpool at home, and I thought he was probably one of our best players in that game. So, going to be interesting to see what we do with Bellegarde next season. If he is going to play that central role, or we're going to keep playing him in that winger role. And with a pre-season under his belt, arguably he could sort of learn both. Oh, sorry guys. Yeah. So Ait-Nouri, really, really good today. I like seeing Ait-Nouri play further back. I know that he's great when he gets forward, and with all the injuries that occurred in the end half of the season, I do think that he's really bailed us out a lot of the times. Ait-Nouri by bombing forward and creating opportunities and scoring goals, but his real strength really is putting players in his pocket, and I do feel like before the second sending off, I think that he did that really, really well, and was arguably one of our best players at one point. So I think a 7 is right for him as well. I don't think we give Bellegarde a score, did we? I think 6.7 is probably about right as well, to be fair. And then we get to our other side, Nelson Semedo. Well, he got a red. It was a bit of a controversial red now we think about it, but it's a red all the same. It was a silly tackle to make in the circumstance that he found himself in. Don't leave the ref that sort of decision to make, in my opinion. I think that kind of really killed the game off for us. So him being sent off was the worst thing that could have happened, and probably a 5 is probably accurate, because before that I thought there was times where he covered the centre-backs really well, but I don't think he got enough time really to show what he was going to do in the game, and being sent off obviously never a good thing because it puts everyone else under the cosh, so a 5 is probably about accurate. And then we get to our back three, who you're going to find this mental, but I thought Kilman was our best centre-back today. I thought he was really, really good at times. Some really good last-ditch defending. His positioning was a lot better for me as well. Still definitely not captain material, but that's obviously hardly really his fault. You get given the armband, and you just got to do what you got to do. I don't think he's a captain, and I think some part of him is probably thinking the same. But in terms of his defensive attributes, I actually think he did all right today. I think he was definitely our best centre-back. So fair play to Kilman for a change. Totti Gomez, at times, again, like Kilman, last-ditch attempts, clearing the ball off the line, I think, at some points as well. Caught out of position a little bit too much for me. Was forced out wide as well, and really failed at that role. I'm sorry. I know that's probably not his strongest position playing there, but yeah, I don't know how Doc didn't come on a lot sooner, in my opinion. And that would probably have been the most sensible thing for me to have done, really, was bringing on Doc for Gomez, which we didn't actually see happen. But yeah, not very good from from Totti Gomez today. Santi Bueno was our worst player for me, other than the fact that Semedo got a red card. I thought Santi Bueno was dreadful today. Positioning was sometimes schoolboy. It was that bad. Completely caught out of position for both goals. Lost his marker for the first goal. Wasn't crap in the air to get rid of it. And then the second one's probably the worst of all of them. Is because he's caught in two minds to do the right thing, and ultimately that leaves Salah, a free hit at the ball to put it into a dangerous position, and then it's just bungled over the line. But that should not happen, and it was all Santi Bueno's doing, because it's his man. He needs to do so much better on that far post, and he just feels like he gets caught in two minds whether to do that job or to do the centre half job. centre half roles job at clearing the ball, when it comes in, and he didn't do either of them. He just stood there like a lemon, and Salah just gets a clean hit at it, and then it ends up in the back of the net for 2-0. It's just dreadful. And even at times during the game, I don't think he showed any sort of positive character. And maybe he's harbouring an injury. We do know he's been injured for a vast amount of this the tail end of the season. So fair play if it is an injury and whatever, and we see a different Santi Bueno in the new season. But for this game in general, definitely the worst player on the pitch. And don't know how he gets a 5.9 over Totti Gomez for me. I genuinely think he'd probably get a 4.5 for me today. Absolutely dreadful. And then we lead to Jose Sarr, who deserves an 8 today. An 8. The only reason he didn't get a 9 is because he obviously conceded. But every other thing he was absolutely amazing at. Some phenomenal saves. The one that really goes into my mind the most is the clawing it out of the top corner when Salah's trying to pick his spot. And just a fantastic save. Ridiculous reactions. Ridiculous athleticism. And just really, really overall today, I thought Jose Sarr was at his best. Like, distribution wasn't even that bad. Playing out the back, the defenders made him look worse than he was. I thought Jose Sarr today was phenomenal. And easily our best player. Kept it at 2-0. And, just unbelievable. Did not deserve to be on the losing side today, Jose Sarr. Thought he was awesome. And hopefully he stays in the team for the next season and puts more of those performances along. Because if he does that, he's never leaving that net. Absolutely not a chance. And then let's talk about the substitutions. Doherty, when he came on, I actually thought was really good. Had a goal disallowed. Well, he had the ball in the back of net and it went to VAR and they said it was offside. It was weird though when it went. Did you guys notice that when they looked at the offside lines, the one of them was green, and I normally thought that meant that it was given. I don't know whether I was just colourblind in that situation or whatever, but it looked to me like it was a green line. I don't know. But when he came on, it looked really, really bright. Got us into some good positions. Was good at getting up and down that side. Didn't leave anything to be critiqued for defensively. I thought he was all right. Boubacar Traoré, when he came on, looked really, really bright again, actually. He had a lot of legs in him. Threaded a couple of balls through, and on a better day, one of those balls goes through, and he was trying his best, and that's all you can really ask for. I thought Hugo Bueno, when he came on, again, similar to Doherty, I thought both of those wing-back roles, I thought they played all right, to be fair. Obviously, they didn't have much game time left to play, but the game time that was left, I thought they did their best to attack. Probably not as bad, not as good as Doherty, but showed some signs. I thought Neto, when he came on, changed the game for me. And that is a really disappointing thing because he's definitely going next season. I just don't see us holding on to him. And the other thing is just seeing how he could transform a game just makes me think that if we had him for the rest of the other games this season where we've not been performing, I feel like he'd have got us over the line a lot more. And it's just disappointing. Still such a player in there, man. It's just... I mean, you could say at some points, it's good to see him still playing that well, because it means that he's probably still a high asset for teams, because they'll look at the last game he played, they'll look at him bombing up, getting involved as much as he did in that small space of time. And then Doyle came on, but obviously he was so late on in the game. I don't really see why he deserves any sort of criticism at all. And then we're going to do this new thing where we talk about the manager's performance in a game, now that this video is a separate video. And for me, Gary O'Neill today probably gets a 6. I got what he was trying to do at the start, but as soon as that didn't come to fruition after the red card, we just looked inept of ideas. And that ultimately really comes down to the manager, because after the second half, you've got to distill something else in your players, and I didn't see enough in the second half. And you could argue, well, you're against Liverpool, there's a lot more quality there and whatever, but it's a little to be desired for me in that overall performance as our manager. But let's see how it goes in the new season and whatever. And as for Gary O'Neill overall, has done an incredible job, so I can't really critique him too much, because he's kept us up, which is his only job this season. So everything else was a plus for him, really, I think. And what he's managed to actually do, the days he's managed to let us have, are worth a new contract for me. So yeah, nice one, guys. Nice one, guys. Sorry about that. I keep clicking the wrong bloody button. I did that in the last video as well. It's definitely the end of season syndrome, isn't it? But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching this. You got a separate video today of the player scores, and that's how we're going to be doing it from now on. So I hope you guys like this format. So it separates it a little bit more, keeps everything a little bit more concise, and I think that's great going forward, to be fair. Yeah. So, yeah, if you like that video, please like the video, subscribe to our channel. We are at 4,800 at the moment. We want to really start to reach that 5,000 mark. That would be absolutely awesome. So if you can be part of that, that would be wicked. And if you're watching this on social medias like Facebook, Instagram, or X, follow, like, and do all the things that you need to do. That would really help us going forward as well. So yeah, I'll see you on the next one, guys. Until then, in a bit. Better on, better on.